Ever seen a budget smartphone that looks as good as this? TECNO has recently launched a new member of the Spark 20 series, which is aimed at Gen Z and younger users, as evidenced by its trendy and vibrant design and TECNO's collaboration with popular battle royale game PUBG Mobile. The new TECNO Spark 20 Pro takes things to another level, offering better performance across the board compared with the vanilla Spark 20 and Spark 20C models without breaking your budget. It headlines several impressive upgrades, but perhaps none more important than the main camera at the back. The Spark 20 Pro sports a 108-megapixel rear camera alongside an AI sensor for portraits and a dedicated macro option you can shoot with, focusing as close as 4 centimeters away, all neatly packed inside this iPhone-inspired camera module. The 108-megapixel sensor combines 9 pixels into one to capture brighter images in low light and offers up to 3 times lossless in-sensor zoom for reasonably crisp shots from a distance. The ultra-high resolution lets you take clear pictures even after being zoomed in, while TECNO's advanced HDR multi-frame fusion algorithm allows the phone to capture shadows nicely in dim environments. There's also dual focusing technology that helps the camera intelligently adapt to various scenarios for more precise focusing. Sure enough, our unit does a good job of getting the focus right, even when shooting in a very dark room. However, the biggest test for any smartphone camera regardless of budget is still night photography. And we're happy to report that the Spark 20 Pro not only exceeded our expectations, it also managed to outperform some higher-priced smartphones we have, busting the myth that budget phones can't perform well in the dark. Unfortunately, you won't find any filters when taking portraits on the default camera app, although TECNO gives you the option to adjust the bokeh and your subject's facial and bodily features before hitting the shutter key should you want to. And if you like, you can also shoot portrait-style selfies with a blurred background. The front-facing camera is autofocus and is impressively sharp too, offering a whopping 32 megapixels and a front-facing dual-color flash with 3 color temperatures: cool, warm, and default to help deliver more natural-looking selfies. Use a warm light in a bar or restaurant or switch to the cool color temperature when shooting under warm lighting. For video, the TECNO Spark 20 Pro supports 2K video recording in dual video mode, which, as the name suggests, lets you record footage using the front and rear cameras simultaneously, ideal for vlogging and YouTube content. Now keep in mind that this phone lacks image stabilization, so expect some jitteriness when moving while shooting. As for the 2 cameras accompanying the 108-megapixel sensor, they're actually more like fillers, especially since you can take much better close-up images using the main camera. The digital zoom can go up to 10 times, but we don't recommend using it. Inside, you get a 6nm MediaTek Helio G99 4G chipset coupled with up to 21 gigs of dynamic RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage. For the price, we can't complain about performance, especially when it comes to multitasking. Our unit with 8 gigs of physical RAM can handle 2 mini apps running side by side while we browse NBA scores on the Chrome browser. The Spark 20 Pro is also capable of handling demanding games like Genshin Impact and PUBG Mobile at reasonable graphics settings, which is more than we can say for the previous gen model and many other budget phones powered by the Helio G88 or lesser chips. Genshin Impact remains playable on high settings. If you're curious about benchmark scores, here are the results we got from our unit. Another thing we like about this model is that it doesn't heat up excessively, even when we push it to its limits by running a stress test for 30 minutes, nor does the battery run out quickly. Speaking of which, the battery is rated at 5000 mAh and supports 33-watt fast charging, which can achieve a full charge in around 80 minutes or 50% in just 25 minutes plugged in. Besides the overall camera package and capable yet efficient processor, the other highlight here is the audio-visual experience. You have stereo speakers on the top and bottom with TTS surround sound plus support for wireless high-res audio for those who own compatible earphones. TECNO's Volume Plus feature, on the other hand, lets you increase the call volume up to 200%, which we found useful in noisy environments. The FHD Plus display is not perfect, but is decent enough for outdoor use and large even by modern standards, measuring 6.78 inches diagonally. The panel uses IPS technology and runs up to 120 Hz with the option to set the refresh rate to 90 Hz, 60 Hz, or auto to save battery. We found the 90 Hz option to deliver a good mix between performance and battery life, but the auto setting works as intended as well. In the Philippines, the TECNO SPARK 20 Pro has an introductory price of $7,499 for the variant with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. We think it's excellent value for money, especially if you're after an affordable and attractive phone that excels in low-light photography and selfies in both daylight and at night.